Driving directions on your phone? Oh no! That's not fun! Navigate hands-free with Apple CarPlay.
Hey everybody, it's season 7. Wow, episode 3. We're here with Smokin' Jay. Smokin' Jay's got probably the coolest decal in the mini bike industry. Want to find out how to get one? Check us out. Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast coming right at you. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is season 7, episode 3 of Joe's Minibike Reunion. Glad to have you with us. This podcast is brought to you by our friends at Pioneer Car Electronics, where we remind you to don't break up with your car, upgrade it with Pioneer Car Electronics. For more information, check them out at pioneercarelectronics.com. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk about on this podcast, as well as have somebody here who really knows about it, is parts. And you've got a lot of choices when you are selecting parts for your mini bike. The one thing I can tell you from riding, and I talked to you about some of these rides that we have with Long Beach Sprocket, as well as my friends at Honda Grom Lifestyle, is that you have to have a reliable bike. You can't be rolling out there with a bike that's going to break down. So to keep your bike tight, you got to buy the right parts. Check out Eric at studsracing.com. Eric, many of you may have met at Joe's Minibike Reunion, which is again on for our 10th anniversary on October the 8th. Here at CV Park in beautiful La Crescenta. But you want to have parts, and you want to be able to get them when you need them. You want to get them at a right price, and you want to get them shipped quick at studsracing.com. Check them out. And I hope to see Eric, along with all of our friends in the Detroit area. And despite the fact that Studs is in Detroit, doesn't mean they can't get you parts anywhere. So they're worldwide. They're nationwide. I'm hoping to see Sam Blackburn. I'm hoping to see my buddy Calvin Carisi. Shit, I'd love to see my man Myron Bailey. The new Scooter King, come out, be a part of Joe's Minibike Reunion. And we've been talking about the fact that we want to have a home for you. I know it's easier for you guys just to fly in. And we've enjoyed the fact that we've had some folks come to Joe's Minibike Reunion outside of the state. Okay, we've got folks coming from all over. I wish I had enough room to store all your bikes, but I don't. But for a select few, yeah, especially my friends from Detroit, we can make arrangements to have you send that bike to me. We'll watch it, and you guys can fly in eating shitty peanuts and wearing masks on an airplane. We'll see you, hopefully, October the 8th, Joe's Minibike Reunion. We're back like the plague. We want to have you with us. I've noticed that in traditional jobs that I've had is when you met somebody, you gave them a firm handshake and typically received a business card. You know, that's how things work. You collect these things and you call people up and you try to sell them shit. That's why business cards exist. In our mini bike hobby, we've taken it up a notch. Not only with the way that we introduce ourselves, but the way that we showcase ourselves, whether we're producing events like guys like me or whether we're selling parts like our next guest. But decals seem to be kind of like the business card of our industry. When you roll up at these events or you go to these shows, they're littered. They're everywhere. They end up on your mini bike. If you're smart enough to remember that you have to make small ones, unlike me, okay? When you finally figure it out, these decals are much more than cool anecdotes on colorful backdrop. They're a statement of what you do. And I've got to tell you that I've seen some pretty creative designs as this mini bike hobby continues to grow. And many of you guys reach out to me asking me for decals. They live forever. You know, these decals are going to live longer than us. They're going to end up on a toolbox or a bike that long after we're gone, they're going to be around, and they're going to be memories of all the good times that we've had and that we're going to continue to have in this mini bike hobby. So I encourage you all to get your shit tight, get your bikes running, get together with your dad or maybe your buddy or, I don't know, your girlfriend. They're easy, these mini bikes. Start working on them together. Get them ready for the big event. I'd love to see you there. We've got a new website as well as a new Instagram page that it's all changing. We're changing the face of what we're doing, and we're going to have a chance for you, hopefully, to enjoy the way that we present these podcasts. Because before we would do a live podcast viewing on Facebook, now we're recording those in advance, and we'll touch them up and we'll deliver them to you very quickly. And with all that nonsense said, I'd like to introduce you guys to a guy that I've just recently met. In fact, I met him on the ride that Sprocket put together where we went from Carson to Santa Monica and back. Smokin' Jay from Prestige Parts. And you guys were causing quite the commotion in a good way at the event. I had a great time. How about you, Jay? Welcome to the podcast.
Great time. Cancer ride was good.
Yeah, so I rolled up. I remember I was walking around. For those of you who may have recalled, I have these really cool posters that the guys from Steady Garage made for me for Joe's Mini Bike Reunion. And I'd like to, I like to hand shit out and say thank you and meet guys. And I was working the crowd just like Sprocket was at his ride, and I ran across you guys. And we had a chance to sit down, and you had a good group. It was like a family, like work had come, like the shop had shut down, and you guys were all together. Who's a part of Prestige? What's going on over there that folks need to know about? Who are the people?
Well, we try to collaborate with, Long Beach Sprocket, First Pull, Mini Bikes Not a Crime, kind of the bigger names in the industry to try to help promote, what we're doing. It's a big movement. We really want to try to push people to, put down the guns, put down the drugs, and ride a mini bike.
So you guys have done a good job not only with being out there and making yourselves a part of the industry, but some of the photos and some of the social media, you guys are taking these what appear to be like Motovoxes and Doodle Bugs and some of these cool frames that can accept some of these wider tires and kind of a full frame mini bike. From what I can see, you guys have really showed up strong with a new kind of a style, and not necessarily with frames that have a lot of deep-rooted cred. Those bikes were kind of inferior in the eyes of many old school guys. They're the caliber of the steel, the fact that they were Chinese made. You're bringing a cool to some of those bikes. What was it that made it? Those bikes maybe came under your radar. What was it that drew you to that?
Your reunion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I wanted to build a bike especially to bring to your next reunion. So
and that is that the Motovox?
That's where the Motovox came out of. Yeah. I searched the internet for some pics and ideas of what I wanted to do, and when I knew your reunion would happen soon, I was like, after COVID, it's going to come up. So I started building. The bike's taken a little over a year to build. It's still not done. Patience.
Sure.
But
what has been the biggest challenge putting it together? I think we've got a photo of the red Motovox that we can post up there. Really appealing. I've always loved that Motovox frame. In fact, there was a white one that showed up on the ride when we recently, the ride that we recently took with Sprocket. It's got a really sexy, wider frame. Was that what drew you to it? What was it that made you want to use that bike as a platform?
Well, the pocket bike rims. We started with the rims. We needed to build a bike around the rims. So that bike really fit the rim style, like with what we want to do, because they're two rears.
Yep. What size are those?
10-inch.
And do you see that 10-inch style, that full size? Is that now the makeup of most of your builds? Because it sure seems like it.
It's sexy.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people want it. The pocket bike rims are, they're sought after, they're, in the mini bike world, they're cool.
Yeah. Well, they're so used to, this is a hobby where you could find anything from a 4-inch up to, I don't know if you can even find a 5-inch slick now, but 6 inches was kind of the max, on a lot of these bikes. So now at 10 inches, especially on some of these rides where suspension and a bigger tire, more rubber on the ground, you probably really felt the benefit of those types of bikes when you take those longer rides, right?
Definitely. Yeah, a lot smoother, a lot less vibration. Yeah.
Okay, so in addition to, and boy, you got everything, custom seats, on-off switches and shifters, and where did this come from? Did anybody stimulate you? Were there guys in the industry that building bikes that you guys had a penchant for that you looked at?
Oh yeah, I watched Jake Mo, Mo
sure.
Fabco.
Yeah, one of the best.
I look at the highest level guys, stuff that you have, even the old vintage classic. I go for it all. I really just want to get next level. You take your bikes to the highest level you can.
So what I see there is just a lot of unique cues, whether it's the steering stabilizers or whether it's the way that you're laying out your engines. It's taking that extra step. What do you got coming up outside of, like when guys are calling you up, what are they looking for? What kind of parts are they looking for? What kind of bikes are they building for?
A lot of race bikes right now, a lot of drag frames. Like you said, GTS really has 70% of the frames out there. So when you come to us, you're going to get a custom frame built especially for you, for your body, for you, for the way you ride, everything the way you want it, especially.
We're talking about starting from just bending pipe. Okay, good.
Straight bending pipe.
So you are taking the Jake Mo path then, and some.
Oh yeah, we've been yeah. This is just one that we just did, but right now we're putting out a lot of custom frames. The other one that you might put out, the next video you might have, it's a full custom drag.
So why don't we stop there for a second? Talk a little bit about Prestige. Although you guys seem to be pretty prominent, I hadn't had a chance to really follow you before. How long you guys have been into the game?
Nick has been doing this 10, 15 years.
Talk a little bit about Nick. What's Nick's last name?
Athanasian.
Okay, shout out Nick. Thanks for being a part of things.
He's
Anybody else there?
One of the best fabricators I know.
Yeah. So how did you guys hook up?
Riding, riding and needing parts. When you need a clutch, chain, everybody needs these parts. In the IE area, that's where you go.
So what did you guys do? Just decide to partner up and open up a shop? And
I really just try to help promote Nick with his advertising, marketing. Try to get him out there that way. I don't do any type of fab work.
So Nick's pretty much the guy behind Prestige.
Oh yeah, he is Prestige. Yeah.
And so we can do everything from parts up to custom bikes. Who's your customer?
Everybody.
Is everybody in that position to get a bike like that? Are most guys calling for parts or most guys calling for bikes?
Most guys are calling for parts.
Okay.
Parts are a little more affordable. When you get to that level, you're spending thousands.
Sure.
So you got to be prepared to have patience and money.
Do you find guys that are currently stepping up for those types of bikes? How are sales?
Older guys like us,
sure.
definitely are stepping up too.
And so how are those guys finding you? Is it just word of mouth?
Instagram, ride outs, when we're on ride outs, everybody needs parts.
Did you, for example, on that last ride, do you think you may have been able to point to a sale from being out there that last ride that we took with Sprocket? From what you recall?
Yeah.
Just be curious.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So almost every time you're going out there, you're finding some customers, right?
Definitely.
So why are they buying parts from you when you can find parts really there's only certain guys that can build custom mini bikes, but there's a lot of choices when it comes to parts. Why are folks buying from you guys? Is it because they know that you build bikes?
I guess, and it's available. You don't have to order them. You just go and you need a clutch, you can just go get it right then and there. You don't have to wait. It's the same cost as what's online. You don't pay shipping. And you meet good people, and you could see what else you might have available to do for your bike. You want to upgrade your brakes. Definitely brakes are a good thing to have. You might want to just, hey Nick, how much for this? How much for that? Let me, and make your bike a little bit better.
How's the traffic? Are you a lot of folks coming into the shop to see what's happening or drop off their bikes?
Oh yeah, daily.
Good.
Daily. There's traffic every day.
I wonder how that would have been answered 5-6 years ago, because I watch a lot of guys open up shops, and I think anybody who's into bikes, at some point you wish you had a shop, because you would want to, wouldn't it be nice just to open up the shop and work on mini bikes and sell some t-shirts and swag? But it's not as easy as that, especially in California.
No.
So how do you do it? Because they make it all but impossible to do business
I
here.
think you just don't jump into something like that. You got to be bred into it. You got to really breathe it, live it, and love it. To really want to make a life out of mini bike is not easy.
Yes, because we were saying about that, kind of the good point is almost its bad point, which is that it's very easy entry level to get into the hobby. It's affordable.
Yeah.
But that same token, it's a pretty frugal crowd. Many of them are young. Many of them haven't bought that first home. Many of them haven't, had the chance to get married or settle down. They don't have $3,000 on a custom bike. They may drool every time they see it.
Yeah.
I've got a few of them, and I see people see my Temecula Bob bike. They love it, but it's like, I guess keep things in priority, right? Don't be spending your money on $3,000 if you don't have your life together. In the meantime, there's still a lot of affordable ways you can get into it. What's next up for you guys? Thank you, first of all, for taking the attention to recognize the event and build the bike for it. Look forward to seeing you out there, as well as all your guys that are there. Maybe we can do some promotions together where you guys can get involved with the show.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd like to have you do that. Anybody that maybe has been a big part of the growth of Prestige that you'd like to recognize, or is there anybody or anything you'd like to mention that I may have missed?
Like shout outs?
Sure.
Shout out to my crew, Minibike Mafia, MBM, my president, Ozzy, 9286. He's at Most Wanted Performance.
Another upcoming guest, hopefully, have Ozzy on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Good.
I think he's teaching boxing classes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's training.
Good.
Yeah.
So we'll get him on there. Jake Moe had a lot of nice things to say about you guys as well. I think he shout out to the Inland Empire for some of your recent drags.
Definitely a shout out to Jake, Tim, and Nick. These guys are, Daryl, just masters of the industry.
Yeah.
Good, really good dudes.
Are you going to be out on the next ride? There's the next one heading out.
Neptune Net this Sunday.
So
right after the ride out, it's going to be races. Compton, Squirrel Gang, the mini bike Squirrel Gang races.
Yeah, so it's an all-day affair.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure if I can make it. I'm hoping to, and if I do, I'll be seeing all you guys out there. If not, hey, have a good time. Be safe. Send me some videos. Send me some photos. We'll be happy. And we want to hear you guys, your story a little bit more. Maybe we can have Nick join us, as well as, this venue is nice for us because we have an opportunity to really roll in some bikes. So maybe as we do more Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast, and we've done it in the past, we've built engines and assembled bikes. We'll do a little bit more of that. And have a chance for you guys to maybe bring some parts. And again, good luck with not only the custom builds. There's going to be a place for it. Some of the better custom builders either are, they don't have a big staff. They don't do a lot of volume. We have guys like Temecula Bob that have been with us for a long time, but they're kind of slowing down. They're getting a little bit older in years. We need a new group of custom builders that can not only take advantage of what they have in front of them, and believe me, with guys like Jake and guys like Temecula Bob, both Hall of Famers for Joe's Minibike Reunion, those guys have set up a nice template. Guys like Daryl and others who have really honed their skills on engine buildings, those guys, they're still around, and you can still roll up with them on one of these rides. You can definitely meet them at Joe's Minibike Reunion. We've been here with Smokin' J Clonts from Prestige Parts, Season 7, Episode 3 of Joe's Minibike Reunion. Check those guys out. If nothing else, to get one of these cool decals, okay? I did it. Jay, thanks for coming on the podcast. Look forward to maybe seeing you guys some other time too, okay?
Wear a helmet.
Yeah, wear a helmet. Otherwise, you can't go on the ride. Yeah. Joe's Minibike Reunion, Season 7, Episode 3, presented by Pioneer Car Electronics and our friends at Studs Racing. And don't forget, folks, if you're driving, take the mini bike. See you next time. Tell a friend.
show.